The Solstice, a quiet, deep space research vessel, hovered in the orbit of Jupiter's volcanic moon, Io. The planet's surface churned with molten sulfur and geysers of gas, but it wasn't the moon's fury that brought Captain Elian Voss here. It was the signal. Faint, repeating, ancient. "Still transmitting," muttered Dr. Kira Lin, peering at the spectral readouts. "Same frequency, same coordinates. It predates any known Earth technology." They landed near a jagged crevice, cloaked in shadow and radiation. The signal pulsed stronger as they descended on foot into a labyrinth of tunnels scorched by volcanic heat. What they found deep beneath the surface wasn't natural. It was a structure, smooth, obsidian, and humming softly. A door opened for them without a touch, revealing a chamber lined with crystalline nodes, each flashing with memories not their own. Voices filled the air in a language that bypassed the ear and spoke directly to thought. Elian reached toward the central pedestal. It flared to life, projecting a star map of galaxies long vanished. "This isn't just a transmitter," Kira whispered. "It's an archive of a civilization older than stars." "But why leave it here?" Elian asked, his voice barely audible under the weight of awe. A new voice answered, not through sound, but through every cell in their bodies. "So someone would remember us." The lights dimmed. The structure began to seal itself. Back on the Solstice, with their data intact but the archive now inaccessible, Elian stared at Io's surface through the viewport. "We weren't the first," he said. "And we won't be the last," Kira replied. Outside, the signal stopped. Forever. When the mining colony on Castor 9 went dark, the signal blackout lasted only 11 minutes, but that was enough to trigger a full emergency response from the Interstellar Mining Syndicate. The company dispatched the SS Marlin, a deep space patrol vessel with a single operative on board, Captain Dax Rowan, a seasoned investigator with a reputation for finding answers in places others feared to look. Castor 9 was a small asteroid station orbiting a dying blue giant. When Dax arrived, the station appeared intact, lights flickering, oxygen levels normal, machinery still humming. But there was no sign of the 42 crew members. Every terminal was wiped clean. Every bunk was neatly made. Every mug sat perfectly aligned on the galley table. No blood, no struggle, just silence. Dax initiated a systems sweep. The AI, Vera, booted with a flicker, stuttering through corrupted memory sectors. Amid the data fragments, Dax found a repeating signal, a low-frequency audio file looping every 11 minutes. It wasn't a distress call, it was a voice, whispering in a language he didn't recognize, overlaid with a rhythmic pulse that sounded almost like breathing. Curious and disturbed, Dax traced the signal to Echo Vault 3, a cavernous subchamber deep within the asteroid. The vault door was sealed with ancient, non-standard encryption, not human-made. It took him 2 hours to bypass it. Inside, he found a room not on any blueprint. The walls pulsed faintly with bioluminescent veins. In the center stood a monolithic black prism, cold and humming with low vibrations. His helmet sensors glitched. The air felt heavier. And then, he heard it clearly. His name, whispered, not from the prism, but inside his own mind. As Dax reached out, his vision blurred. For a fraction of a second, the room around him changed. No longer an empty vault, but filled with the missing miners, all of them standing motionless, eyes open, staring straight at him, and whispering in unison. Then, gone. Dax staggered back, heart racing. He sealed the vault, initiated a quarantine protocol, and returned to his ship. The SS Marlin departed without delay, the asteroid shrinking into the void behind him. He submitted his report. No survivors. Cause? Unknown. But on the return journey, every 11 minutes, his ship's console flickered, and the whisper began again. Only this time, it was in his own voice. The derelict vessel drifted just beyond Saturn's orbit. silent, intact, and broadcasting a distress signal on a frequency that hadn't been used in over 100 years. Commander Rael Vasquez wasn't supposed to be there. His patrol route veered far from abandoned relics of past wars. But something about the signal drew him in. An unshakable pull, like a whisper meant only for him. The ship's nameplate, barely legible beneath scorched hull plating, read Eidolon. It matched a long-lost exploration craft presumed destroyed near Neptune decades ago. Officially, it never returned. Unofficially, no one ever spoke of it. As Rael docked and stepped aboard, a strange hush blanketed the air. No creaking metal, no automated greetings, just dim emergency lighting flickering across empty corridors. He activated his scanner. No life signs. But as he moved deeper, the ship seemed to change, hallways bending subtly, leading him back to places he'd already explored. Voices crackled faintly through the comms, repeating fragments of long-deleted logs. They told us to wait. There's something in the dark. We're not alone anymore. In the core chamber, he found the crew. Not corpses, not skeletons, statues, perfectly preserved, mid-motion, faces frozen in expressions of terror and awe, like they'd glimpsed something divine or monstrous. A mirrored panel at the far end shimmered as Rael approached. Not a reflection, an image. A void, deeper than space, swirling with impossible colors and shapes that twisted the mind to look upon them. Suddenly, a whisper echoed inside his helmet. Not through the comms. From within. You found us. The panel began to crack. The lights dimmed further. Rael turned to flee, but the hallway was no longer behind him. Just darkness stretching into eternity. Outside, his ship's systems recorded a final transmission. No words, just static. And a faint heartbeat. The Eidolon remains adrift. And now it whispers a new name.